Class, maghulat sa takla sa akin ng mga 4:30 para dili na ako admit ka na makasulod na. Kaya dili niya ako makita na naay mo join. Settings. Settings. Crizel, can you hear me, Crizel? Na ako'y audio or may madmingog? Class, can you hear me? Or wala audio?
Madunggan ka.
Okay. Thank you. Kay murag wala man nitingog. So, it's 4:30. So, let's begin our review with a prayer. So, let us put ourselves in the presence of God. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. So, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and the hour of our death. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. So, murag informal lang ni nga class, no? We'll have our review. So, before we start our review, kay basig na apay mag-join. So, I'd just like to read the names of these students who I don't really know if they are still enrolled or they have dropped from this subject. So because they don't have submission. So if you know these students, kindly inform them that they have to send me a message kung enrolled pa ba sila or wala na gyud. Okay, for example, we have Atchas Dan Philip. Okay, so because there's no submission, but the name is still in the SLMIS. So I don't know if these students are officially dropped or withdrawn. So then we have Markaban Aimer Sendatok. Okay? Johari. Markaban Aimer Johari. Hindi na mabasa ni ma'am kay orange na akong gipang highlight na nako. Kay they don't have submissions. Salvania Shin Robes. Then we have Simbahon John Luke. Then we have Tabasan Lois Miguel. Luis Miguel Templa. Then we have Rochelle Bontas. And in my AGA, Sinisa Nicole Lomingo or Sinisa Nicole and Ramos Abdul Gafur. Okay? So again, if you know these students, classmates in other subjects, please tell them to send a message so that I will know if they are officially dropped or withdrawn, because these students do not have any submissions. Now, I would like to make it clear that the grades that I shared, the snippet from my class record, from this one, from my Excel file, is not yet final because I haven't updated. Sorry kayo class because during this time it's my son's kanang schedule for playing usa pa na iyang mga games. So 4:30 magdula na sila kay kanang humana sila tanan silang assignments. Even my college son at the back is also playing his online game. So say maninggit ko kasabot nila. So the grades that I shared from the snippet, okay, from my Excel is not yet final because I have not updated yet the scores for the crystal quiz, and also we don't have yet the grades or the scores for the midterms. Kaya yung midterms Saturday pa man. But the next time that I'm going to share a snippet from my class record, that's already the grade that you'll be receiving for the midterms. Okay? And so there were some students who asked for consideration in the submission class. I don't close the assignments. Di ba? Wala. Murag ako ra si teacher because my son was telling me, ma, dili lagi ko ka-submit kay ang akong teacher kay mag-close na dayon. Kung unsay time nakaset niya, close na dayon. Because siguro, very few teachers do not have close time. I'm one of them. So, dili ko ga-close so that you can still submit. Kay once mag-close ko, dili na mo ka-submit. And I checked the assignments murag a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And if it's already module 1, my God, that's already months after the submission. Karon pa ko nag-close. O niya, karon pa mo magreklamo nga, ma'am, kanang di na ko ka-submit. So, unta man, nag-close naman si ma'am. Di ba? So, please also be responsible. You're given enough time to submit. Okay? So, tagaan man mo time mag-submit. Wala, gani ko nag-close. Pila months na, 2 months. Wala pa gyapon, wala gyapon submission. Pag mag-close na si ma'am, aya dayon ma-alarma nga wala na. Okay, so that's why I did not consider those students who submitted in my email because submissions for the assignments must be done in e-learn. Kaya wala ko nag-close. Okay. So if I'm going to open another module for the semifinals, mo gyapon, I will not close the submission of the assignments. Kaya para makasubmit yun ang estudyante. Pero wala man, wala may effort. Okay? Wala man gani message, di man gani mag-message ka ma'am unsa. Aya ra mag-message ko makita na grado nga 15 or 20. Kulbaan na dayon kay 15 ang grado. Okay? So palihog lang. Kay I also have deadlines. So teachers also have deadlines. So kung kamo magsige ko dili man mi i-consider sa registrar. Okay? If it's already submission of the grades. So I also have deadlines, you also have deadlines. So I understand dagan yung subjects, but please find time also. Notice that my assignments for one module, only one worksheet or assignment. Or 1 or 2. Ang kadaghan na kay ang 3. Ang uban gani tag 7 assignments or tag 5 assignments. 1 or 2. 2 worksheets. So I think kaya ra siguro na. Okay, so it's 4:36. Enough with my reminder. So next time, semifinals to finals, please. Okay. Dili na siguro, no? Pag finals na, maning kamot na unta ta. Okay? So, I'm going to share now. So again, if you know those students, ipa-message kang ma'am, e-learn or messenger or email, kung drop ba gyud or withdrawn. Officially ha, dili kay siya nagbuot-buot, nag-withdraw lang sa iyang self. Kay kung ikaw rin nag-decide na mag-withdraw, imong grado di apon didto kay AF. Kay AF ka sa registrar. So kailangan officially withdrawn para wala gid kay clear imong record. So kinsa man ni. So for those who are late, I read the names of the students who don't have submissions, and I do not know whether they are still enrolled or not. Okay, I'm going to share a tab. Not tab. Wait dali lang. I'm going to share a window. Okay. Wait sa class for a while. For a while class where is the Uy, ano man eh? Again. Okay. So your exam will be on Saturday, and I forgot the time. Basig masayo po niya ako, 1:02 niya akong masulti. Basta it's Saturday, and I already shared the schedule. I will look for the schedule again later in our GC, so para ma-remind ang uban. So for Chem 86, I cannot see anymore my other window, so I don't know. Makita ba? Am I sharing the correct slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sige kay dili ko kakita na kung nakita usa ba naay mo sulod di na ko ka-accept ani. So your exam will be on Saturday, and most of the questions were taken from the two last modules, okay? So the nuclear chem and also the crystals. Okay, crystalline solids. Dito dagan kaayo, murag out of the 60 questions, mura og kanang tag 10. Okay, number of items for your exam is 60. And it's all multiple choice. And also, but there are items where you are asked to wait. They're all multiple choice. And you don't have to bring a periodic table because a periodic table is already included in the questionnaire. First page contains the periodic table, and but you are asked to bring your cycle, okay, and scratch paper also. Back page of the questionnaire will be used as a scratch paper. Okay. So all multiple choice, but a lot of the questions were taken from the nuclear chem and also from the crystals. Daghan gid kayo nuclear chem and crystals. So focus on the nuclear chem and crystals. I just took the some parts of our PowerPoint presentations of the previous modules. Okay, review raman ta. So let's start with the Thermochem review. So let's recall the terms in Thermochem. So you have to remember Okay, if I were you, I will take down notes. So you have to remember the definitions of thermochem, entropy, enthalpy, Hess law, calorimetry. So you have to review, and if you are going to prepare a reviewer, so you have to write the definition. So first part are, although very few questions, pero sayang ang point. So thermochemistry, again, is a branch of chem that describes the energy changes that occurs during chemical reactions. So here we are we include the discussions in heat, work, entropy, enthalpy, Hess law, so for thermochemistry. So there are two types of, recall that there are two types of reactions. We have the exothermic. When we say exothermic, that's release of energy. So ang sign will be negative. So exothermic, release of energy. Then we have endothermic is absorption of energy. So that is positive. So these are the two types of reactions, exothermic and endothermic. So in terms of the sign convention, when we say exo, that's negative. When we say endo, that's positive in terms of sign conventions. And the three types of thermodynamic systems, we have open system and exchange both energy and matter. So both energy and matter can move from the container to the surroundings and vice versa, kay open system man. Exchange both energy and matter. For closed system, can exchange only energy with its surroundings, because in a closed system, the container has we are going to place the substance or the system in a closed container. So only matter, only heat can dissipate, but only heat can be absorbed. So that's closed system. Pero ang matter will remain as is. Then we have isolated system, is one that cannot exchange either matter or energy with its surroundings. So these are again the types of thermodynamic systems. So enthalpy, we are now in enthalpy. Wala na ako gibalik ang slides nga dili na kailangan class. So enthalpy, so we have, it is used to quantify the heat flow into or out of the system in a process that occurs at constant pressure. So the change of enthalpy, or the change in H or enthalpy, is equal to H enthalpy of products minus enthalpy of reactants. So what is important in this slide are the values. When can we say that the reaction is endo, and when can we say that the reaction is exothermic? Muna importante ani the analysis of the results. When is it endothermic and when is it exothermic? So if delta H is greater than 0, then we conclude that this is endothermic. If delta H is less than 0, mga negative values, then this is exothermic. Okay, so if delta H is negative 890, so if you're asked to choose, is this endothermic, exothermic, look at the sign convention. Delta H negative is exo, delta H positive is endothermic. That's what is important, the concept that's important in this slide. So to quantify the heat flow. Then we have calculations, which I think are important, these types of calculations. So we have how much heat will be released when 6.44 grams of sulfur reacts with excess O2 according to the following equation. So we have the equation, 2S plus 3O2, then the product, then the given enthalpy of the system. So you have delta H is equal to negative 791.4 kilojoules. Now, if problems, okay, if you are given this type of problems with a given amounts, so ang first thing that you need to do is start from the given quantity. So ang given amount is the 644. So you are asked to determine the heat, how much heat. Recall that the unit for heat is in joules, kilojoules. So dapat if you are asked to solve for heat, dapat the final unit is in kilojoules. So again, solving this type of problems where the amount of the substance is given, this is using conversion factors, using the balance equation. So, unahon yun nimo ang given. So, 6.44 grams of S. Then after that, we need to convert the grams into the number of moles. Why? Because in our balance equation, it's given in the number of moles. So, dili ka pwede maka-equate sa imong grams diretso sa balance equation because it has to be in the number of moles. That's why we're using the atomic weight, okay, the atomic weight of the substance, which is S. So given 6.44 grams of sulfur, we need to convert it to the number of moles. So by definition, 1 mole of any substance is just equal to its atomic weight. So the atomic weight of sulfur is 32.07 grams. So you can cancel. Kaning grams ma-cancel. Then the next conversion factor is taken from the balance equation. Na may S din na sa atong balance equation. So that's 2 moles. 2 moles is equivalent to the delta H of the system, which is negative 791. This is exothermic, okay, negative 0.4 kilojoules. So multiplied and divide. So the heat released, okay, negative exo, heat released is negative 79.5 kilojoules. Okay, pag ingana nga problem, unahon ang given nga amount, then convert it to the number of moles, then after that, use the balance equation to get the heat released. So how do we know if it's heat released? Because the delta H is negative. Okay. So this will also help you this will also give you a hint that your answer is correct. Kay you got a negative answer. Okay, ang question, released heat man. Okay, the same raman ni class, the same concept lang na sila. I'm just giving examples of problems which are which will help you. Okay, I'm not giving the problems. These are not the problems that will come out in the exam. Okay, basig inyong memorization ka na is delta kanang S plus 3O2. No. Kani ako mga example is not the problems in the exam. Okay, basig na uban magtuo nga mo'y gihatag ni ma'am. Mo'y mo appeal sila review kay imo hatag si ma'am og questions. No. I'm giving only a review. I'm not giving the questions. So how about, this is Hess law. If you can still remember Hess law, okay, in Hess law, we have the enthalpy given, we have the equations with their enthalpy. So we have, for example, calculate the energy involved in the oxidation of elemental sulfur to sulfur trioxide from reactions. So we have here the given equation, S solid plus oxygen gas will produce, nawala man ang arrow. So, i-write sa ni ma'am. Okay. The product is, this is Hess law. Okay, Hess law. Okay, that's the product. Okay, so we are asked to solve for the enthalpy of this product. Okay, the H3, the third equation, the enthalpy of the third equation. Now, to produce this product, okay, the S solid plus 3O2. So this is our final reaction. That's the final reaction. So how do we produce this one? We look at the given equations. Okay, we look at the given equations and we have to make sure that our final equation will only contain SO2 and SO3. SO2 and SO3. So we have SO2 and SO3. So dapat ma-cancel ang uban substances in the equation. So our product is S plus 3 halves of O2. Then we have SO3. That's the product. So we have to do something with the equation. So ang S na aman danhi, so therefore, we are not going to reverse the equation for S. Okay? So that's SO2 and its enthalpy is negative 296.0 kilojoules. Pero, because SO3 has to be in the product, unya din sa given equation, it's also, okay, we need to cancel the SO2. Okay, SO2 is cancelled and SO3 is here. So wait ha, SO2 has to be cancelled. Okay, pwede siya ma-cancel. So this is SO2. Latin pa. Wait lang, kaya na ay excuse me, ma'am. Adali, class ha.
Ma-accept do si Kulina, ma'am.
Okay, wait lang. Wait, dili naman gud na ako makita. Okay. Murag na apa to, kinsa pa man. Okay na.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Sorry kay ma'am, na-late ko ma'am, nag-exam ang kugikan, ma'am.
Agoy, namo lagi nagsunod-sunod ang mga exam. Wait ha, basig na apay magpa-accept.
Si Jerby, ma'am.
Ano ko, wala naman, di na ako makita.
Wait lang, ma'am. Ako sa chatan.
Oh, sige daw, kay para mo i-accept na ako ang para madungan og accept. Because pag mag-share na si ma'am, dili na ako makita kung kinsay. Sige. Sige, mag-unmute lang kung naay gusto mo join, okay? Balik ta. Wait lang. Again, I'm just giving examples, no, which are problems which are helpful in the exam, but not the exam questions. Okay. One. Uy, ano di man ko submit? Wait, ay naana ata, wait lang. Na ay magpa-accept. Okay. Window. To review. Okay. Review. Slideshow. Current. So we need to, wait, nawala si ma'am. Dapat ma-cancel to produce this one. So I think okay na. So SS, ang SO2, okay, here SO2, but there are two SO2s here and one SO3. So I have to multiply this by 1/2. Okay, I have to multiply this one by 1/2. I hope you are still following. So I need to ang atong goal ani class is we have to make sure that we get this equation. Okay, we have to make sure that we get this equation. So ang S is okay, so nanay S on the reactant side, but we need to cancel out SO2 because there's SO2 on the other equation. But there's no SO2 in the final equation. So, kailangan ma-cancel out ang SO2. So, we have to multiply. And SO3 in the product, in the final equation, is only 1 mole of SO3. So, dapat kung ma-1 mole ni siya, dapat I'm going to multiply this one by 1/2 para ma-cancel ang 2. So, if I'm going to multiply the entire equation by 1/2, this one becomes 1 SO2 na lang. Then, this one is 1/2. Nana siya 1/2. And this one will become 1 SO3. Kaya divide by 2. This is also divide by 2. So, in that case, pwede na ako ma-cancel si SO2. So, wala na yung SO2 in the final product. And S now is 1. Then, O2 is 1 plus 1/2. That's 3 halves. Then, ang remaining SO3 is 1. So what do we do with the enthalpy of the second equation? Because this is multiplied by 1/2, so we have to multiply this one by 1/2. Whatever you do in the equation, muna imo pong i-multiply. Whatever number you multiplied in the equation, that's also the number that you are going to multiply in the enthalpy. So this one is 1/2 of 198.2. Wala man ta reverse sa equation. So it will remain negative. It will remain negative. So this is negative 296.0 kay wala man nato gi-reverse. Kung i-reverse na, that will become positive. So 198.2 divided by 2, that's 99. So negative 99.1. And in Hess law, we'll just add. Okay, just add the two delta A, the two H's, so the enthalpies of the equation, so 96 plus 99.1. So therefore, our enthalpy is still negative. That's 395.1 kilojoules. Okay, again? Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am. Nalimtan ako, ma'am ba?
Oo, sa man.
Unsa gani, ma'am? Unsa ganing pamaagi, ma'am? Mag-reverse ka, ma'am?
Ay, kung mag-reverse ganita, ma-change pod ang atong sign.
Sign. Di ba, I mean,
sign.
unsay, ma'am ba, like,
ngano kailangan ta mag-reverse? I think muna imong question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ngano kailangan? Sometimes kailangan ta mag-reverse because dili na to makancel ang mga substances danhi sa atong duha ka equation. So nakita ninyo nga ang S naara gid siya sa reactant. Kaning number 3 mo ni atong desired equation nga dapat pag minus nato ang atong equation will result to this one. Okay? So ang S naa naman siya sa reactant. So dili na ta mag-reverse kay naa naman gid siya sa reactant side. Then ang SO3 naa na gid siya sa product. So dili na ta mag-reverse kay naa na sila sa ilang proper place.
Okay.
Oh, ana. So naman ko line example. Then after that, kung imo siyang i-multiply by 2, ang H i-multiply gyapon nimo by 2. In this case, we multiplied by 1/2, so ato po ni siyang i-multiply by 1/2. Then ang atong H3, ato lang nang i-add ang duha. O, puro man na sila negative, so negative gyapon ang answer. Here's another example, pareha ani. Okay? So kani, we need to determine the delta H. So let's look at the equation. Our final equation, we want to get this equation. Okay. So we want to get, this is our final equation. Kana atong gusto makuha. Si PbCl2 niya sa reactant side, sa product side. Dapat dito siya. Okay? Then si Pb, dapat naa siya sa product side. This time, kani ato gini siyang i-reverse. Kay dili nato makuha ang desired equation. So, what will happen is I'm going to rewrite the equation to PbCl2. Then we have Pb plus Cl2. So, therefore, kani ma-change. So, this one becomes positive 359.4. Kaya ako namang gi-interchange. Then, ang Ni, okay na si Ni. It's in the reactant side. Look at the desired equation. Si Ni dapat na sa reactant side. So, dili na siya i-reverse. Plus Cl2. Then, product is NiCl2. So, we did not do anything with the second equation. So, negative 305.3. Do we need to multiply? Oh, wala. So, here, we can now cancel the Cl2. Okay, wala na. You can cancel that one. And I think that's it. Moray ma-cancel ang Cl2. So our final equation is PbCl2 there, Ni there, it's there in the reactant side, Pb on the product side, and NiCl2 on the product side. Ana, mo ni siyang time nga mag-reverse. Kay dili ma-cancel. Okay? So, then, we'll just add, so 359, nag-reverse man ta, so ang 359, mahimong positive. 359.4 minus 305.3. So, our answer is 54, positive. So, meaning absorption of heat, 54.1 kilojoules. Okay? Again, I'm giving sample problems which will help you answer some of the questions in the exam. Na, okay na ni. Okay, so if you're given this type of problems, makasolve. Okay, kani ang given ang amount, then conversion factor. This one, given the equation, you're asked to solve for the delta H of the final equation.
Ma'am, pwede ko babalik tong last, ma'am? Itong pinakauna, ma'am?
Kani.
Yeah, dili pinakauna.
Kani.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this one, ang given is the amount of sulfur. Di agi ka mag-start sa amount of sulfur kay wala may lain given. And if you look at our equation, these are all given in the number of moles. So we need to convert this one grams in the number of moles. The link to the number of moles is the atomic weight or molecular weight. In this problem, I use the atomic weight kay sulfur man. It's an atom. So atomic weight from the periodic table. You don't have to bring. You're not allowed to use your own periodic table. Okay? Ang tanawon lang ninyo ang periodic table that's given, that's included in the questionnaire, the given PT. So ma-convert na sa number of moles, then after that, we look at the balance equation and we look at the delta H. Ana lang pag-convert. Then we can cancel the grams. So and the number of moles. So ang unit is in kilojoules. Okay? So kani enthalpy ni siya nga problem. Enthalpy na. Kani this one is Hess law. Dali ra man kay Hess law. Tanawon lang nimo kung ma-cancel ba. Kung dili ma-cancel, are you going to reverse? Are you going to multiply a certain number? So kung sa imong buhaton sa equation mo po imong buhaton sa imong delta H or the enthalpy of the equation. Okay? So kinataan na. Then let's go to this one is calorimetry. Okay, this is a problem on calorimetry. Maayo man mo ani. So this was given in our discussion in our first module. So for example, we have how much heat is given off. So you're asked to solve for the Q. Mayong ganig heat given off. Q na siya. Q is represented by, heat is symbolized by small letter Q. So how much heat is given off when 869 grams, this is the mass, kay grams man, iron bar, okay, grams of iron bar that cools from, these are the temperatures, from, then 2. From, then 2. Okay, so we have, the formula is Q times MC delta T. Ang C is given kay constant man ni class. Dili pwede isolve ni siya kay constant man. Or unless if it's unknown, then given ang Q, you can solve for C. But in this problem, the unknown is Q, so C has to be given. Kay dili siya ma-solve with two variables. So C of iron is this one. So we're asked to solve for the heat. So plug in lang ang data. Mass, 869 grams. Ang C, okay, 0.44 joules over gram times delta C. Then, don't forget to get the delta T. Dapat imuging kwaon ang difference. Okay, delta T, the change in time. And the change in time is final minus initial. So, ang final is 5. Kay 94.2, meaning nag-drop iyang temperature. So, 5 minus 94. Okay, that's negative 89. Then, multiply. So, this is now the answer for the heat. This is negative, so heat release or given off. So
Multiply din na siya, ma'am.
O multiply ra ni tanan. Kay ang formula ani is mass times the C, specific heat of whatever substance will be given, times the delta T. Multiply ra gina tanan. Unless if the unknown is delta T. Okay, so na ay division. But in this problem, we're looking for Q. We're solving for Q. So it will just multiply. I think there's another sample. Wala na. So if the unknown, if for example, is the mass, example, mass ang unknown, so the formula becomes Q over C times delta T is equal to mass. Di ka mag-divide. Kung mass ang unknown. Okay? So that's Q divided by C times delta T. But in this problem, you're just asked to solve for Q. Dali ra ka i-solve ang Q, okay? You will just multiply all the given values. Okay, so this is a problem on calorimetry. Okay, calorimetry is MCAT. MCAT raman akong memorize. MCAT. Mass specific heat delta T. MCAT. Okay, so we're done with calorimetry. Layo pa kayo ta class, upat pa ni ka module. Then we have, I think the sign conventions are important. Okay, sign convention. So if work done by the system, okay, Work done by the system, that's negative in terms of the sign convention. Kung work done by the system, that's negative. Work done on the system, so meaning ang surroundings ang work. Okay? Ang work is done on the surroundings. Okay? So work done on the system is positive. Then heat absorbed by the system from the surroundings, endothermic, ako naman ang explain a while back. So endo gani, positive. Heat absorbed by the surroundings from the system, okay, kay exothermic man. So release to the surroundings, that's negative. So again, these are the sign conventions for work and heat. Okay, sign conventions for work and heat. Work is negative if the work is done by the system. Work is positive if the work is done on the system. Then, of course, endothermic is positive, exothermic is negative. Okay? Sign conventions. So we're done with enthalpy. Kay gamay raman questions sa aning enthalpy. So I hope this one will help. Okay? Then let's go to electrochemistry. So in electrochem, let's recall how to assign oxidation numbers. Okay, how do you assign oxidation numbers? For an element at free state and combined, okay, this is the state, it's the state of matter in nature. Okay, so uncombined state yun ni. Example, nitrogen. Since nitrogen exists as a gas, so mo gina iyang formula N2. So it's uncombined. All uncombined substances, element, okay, they will have an oxidation number of 0. Basta uncombined. So for this one, let's just solve for the oxidation number of carbon. So we know that oxidation number of oxygen is -2 unless if it's peroxide, but most of the oxygen, kita gani kag oxygen, -2 na iyang gamiton. Okay? So -2. Si hydrogen, +1. Unless hydrogen combines with a metal. Dili man na metal ang iyang mga kauban na sa compound. So +1 na siya. Then we multiply the charge and the number of atoms. So that's 2. Then charge times the number of atoms, that's -6. So we are solving for X. So what is the oxidation number of carbon to get 0? Ang compound, okay, its total oxidation number is equal to 0. Ay kani dili man ni compound, so -2 di ay na siya. Na siya charge, oh. Muna yung total. So for this one, compound, neutral man na, so 0. So we have to solve for C. To get 0, this has to be +4. Muna yung charge. Kay 2 + 4 - 6, 0. So that's how you assign oxidation number. Last, for example here, let's determine the oxidation number of zinc. Okay, zinc. So, i-rewrite sa ni ma'am. So, Zn, then we have OH, then 4. Kaning -2 is the kaning total. Okay, that's the total charge. So, gawas na siya. Dili na siya sa OH, the total charge na. So, ang oxygen is -2. -2 gid na ang oxygen. Ang hydrogen is +1. Unless if it's peroxide, but that's not peroxide. So there are 4 oxygen atoms. So -2 times 4, that's -8. Plus -1 times 4, that's +4. So we solve for X to get -2. Okay, o sa may X na to get -2. So this is 8, this is already -4. So X is +2. Okay, +2. I hope ma-remember, kuan pa, na-gets. So 2 + 4, that's 6, +6. So -8 plus 6 is -2. So that's how you assign oxidation numbers. Okay, dapat i-recall. Dapat mag-answer, mag-recall how to assign. Sige, last, kaning NO2. Okay, negative. So oxygen, -2. Unahon gini mo oxygen class. Kay kaning oxygen, if it's not peroxide, -2 ra gid na siya. Okay, dali. Kaysa nitrogen. Nitrogen can have a lot of oxidation numbers. Pwede siya 3, -3. Pwede 1, -1. Pwede 5, -5. Pwede 7. So, daghan kay siya oxidation numbers. Pero ang oxygen, -2. Okay, -2 na siya. So, -2 times 2, -4. To get -1, so nitrogen is +3. So, +3 plus, okay, +3 plus -4 is -1. Okay, so recall, again, I'm giving sample problems that will help you answer some of the questions in the exam. Okay, so naay rason ngano naghatag kog how to assign oxidation numbers. Okay, that's how you assign oxidation numbers. Dali raman ni assigning oxidation numbers. Okay, let's go back to balancing of redox equation. Okay, redox equations. Now, ang importante sa redox equations is you have to know, you have to recall what is the reduction reaction, what is the oxidation reaction, and what is the oxidizing agent and the reducing agent. Kanay, very important. Okay, reducing agent, oxidizing agent, oxidation reaction, and reduction reaction. So the first thing that you need to do if you're given a redox equation is to assign oxidation numbers. So for this example, dili na ta mag-assign sa iron kay naa na given kay 3 plus ang chromium sad 3 plus na. So you will not worry about their oxidation numbers. Iron here on the product side na anapod sa oxidation number. So we're left with Cr2O7. So we have to assign the oxidation numbers of Cr and oxygen. So unahon yun ang oxygen class para kay maglisod mo kung inyong unahon ang chromium. So oxygen is -2, ang final is 2 minus dapat. So -2 times 7, that's -14. So dapat ang atong final or total oxidation number is -2. So we have to solve for the oxidation number of chromium. Okay? To get -2, this has to be 6. Diba? Kay 6 times 2, 12. So +12 plus -14 is -2. So +6 si chromium. Kani dinhi na dayon. We have to identify what's the oxidation reaction, although it's shown there, pero balikon lang nako, how do we determine? So there are 2 atoms, okay, that change, okay, their oxidation numbers. Iron and chromium. Walay participation ng oxygen ani. Si iron lang o si chromium. Okay, recall nga ang cathode naa diha ang reduction og mo gain og electrons, di ba? Ang atong mnemonics ani kay CRG. Cathode, sa cathode na ang reduction reaction og mo gain og electrons. And the other one, mnemonic nato is AUL. Okay? Sa anode naa ang oxidation, then loss of electrons. Okay, CRG and AUL. Now, let's look at the oxidation numbers. Remember sa Chem, pag mutaas ang oxidation number, that's loss. Okay, loss in electrons. Kung mo increase ang oxidation number, loss of electrons na. Pag mo decrease ang oxidation number, that's gain of electrons. So let's look at iron. Iron 2 and 3. So that's increase, that's loss of electrons. So meaning, kung loss na ay oxidation. So muning oxidation reaction ang iron. Okay, munang reason nga ang iron oxidation kay gi-increase ang iyang oxidation numbers, meaning there's a loss of electron. Now, ang chromium is 6 to 3. Gi-decrease ang oxidation number. So there is gain. Because there is gain, that is the reduction reaction. So muna ang reduction reaction. Importante na class. You have to know asa ang oxidation reaction, asa ang reduction. Again, ang oxidation kanang mo increase og charge. Ang reduction kanang mo decrease ang charge, reduce. Okay? Gain, reduce, mo gamay ang iyang charge, reduction reaction. Then ang agents class bali. Kung oxidation na siya, muni ang reducing agent. Baliktad. Kung reduction reaction, naa dinhi ang oxidizing agent. Okay? So in this slide, mura na akong i-emphasize how to determine oxidation reaction, reduction reaction, what is the reducing agent, and what is the oxidizing agent. Take note, baliktad, sa oxidation na ang reducing agent. Sa reduction na ang oxidizing agent. Baliktad. Okay, sige, naaman siguro example, ani. Wala na. Pasig na din. Wala na. Sara akong example. It would be impractical for us to ask the students to balance redox equations. Okay, imagine you're given only pila ra ka 1 hour and 30 minutes yung exam niya, mag-balance mo redox equation, that will take time. So ang exam is multiple choice, na ay mga choices kung makabalo ka kung unsa didto ang oxidation, unsay reducing agent, unsay oxidizing, unsay reduction agent. Okay? Kung naamang gani balancing, then na may choices. Pero dili na ka mag-show solution nga dugay kay kamahuman. Okay? Pinana, balancing. Ato lang ibalik ang balancing basin di ay na miss ni Mamong tanaw. So ang first thing that you need to do to balance redox reaction is equations is to assign oxidation numbers. Then after that, separate the equation into two half reactions. So kanang makabalo ka, unsay oxidation, unsay reduction. Then after that, balance the atoms, okay, except for the letter O. Unahon sa og balance ang non-O, non-H. So for example, kani ang CR2, i-balance na nato ang CR. So add 2. Okay? Non-H, non-O. Then after that, i-balance na dayon ang oxygen. So to balance oxygen, for every kulang or deficient nga oxygen, we add water. Okay, water. Pag kulang ganig oxygen, water ginang i-add. Then, kinana may hydrogen. For every deficient hydrogen, you add hydrogen ion. Okay, muna yung makabalance sa hydrogen. So here, 7 times 2, that's 14. Munang na 14 hydrogen ion. Ayaw ibutang din na beside sa water. Okay, dili mabalance mo equation. You are going to add to the deficient side. Katong walay hydrogen nga side sa equation. Didto nimo ibutang. So 14H plus, unya parehaan ni ang oxygen sa reactant side na O. So ang imong water ibutang nimo spikas para mabalance. 7O, then we have 7O. Okay, so then after that, we need to balance the number of electrons. Okay, how do we balance the number of electrons? Kani siya 14. 14 na. Positive. Plus, kani negative 2. On the other side, that's 6. 2 times 3, that is 6. Then this one is neutral, so 0. So ang total, 14 plus negative 2, this is negative 12. Then on the other side, balik ko na, negative 12. Then on the other side, kay 6. So saan man na para mabalance? We add electrons. So we add 6 electrons kay no, on the others, this is positive 12, not negative. Okay? Kung ano dili mabalance. Sa tingala kung ano di mabalance. Okay, positive 12 na siya. So we add 6 electrons. So ang electrons is negatively charged. So negative 6 plus 12. Okay, this will result to 6. So balance na. Okay. Then, after ana, then we are going to also do this step in the other equation. Katong iron, parihason lang. Then, mag-cancel na dayon. Unsay ma-cancel. Okay, so that's balancing. Let's go to the Voltaic Cell. Voltaic cell is also known as galvanic cell. Okay, voltaic cell or galvanic cell. Ang voltaic cell will use zinc and copper metals. Zinc and copper metals. So, voltaic cell is an electrochemical cell. Okay, this one produces, okay, this one will produce electricity. Kay ang voltaic kay from chemical energy to electrical energy. Muna ang galvanic or voltaic cell. From chemical to electrical. Kay lahi, wait sa class. Different man tong electrical to chemical. That's different. Kuha na siya, electrolytic. Okay, electrolytic na. I think I have it. I have it here. Oh, electrolytic. Bali siya. So, ang voltaic or galvanic, ang galvanic is from chemical reaction man na. Okay. Chemical energy to, it will produce electricity, to electrical energy. Okay, pareha sa battery ba? Ang battery kay voltaic, kanang ang battery gapalito na to. So, from chemical reaction, it will produce electrical that will be used to light a bulb, for example, or so that our radio will work. So, voltaic is an electrochemical cell that uses spontaneous, okay, redox reactions to generate electricity. Okay, so how about the flow? Asa man mag-flow ang electrons to produce that electricity? So electrons will always flow from the anode. Asa ang anode? Ang zinc. Okay? From the anode to the cathode or from oxidation half. Okay, ang anode, remember ang AUL, anode oxidation loss. This is the CRG. So from the anode, which has the oxidation reaction, so electrons will flow from the anode to the cathode. Okay, anode to the cathode. From the oxidation reaction to the reduction, spontaneous man, balik-balik lang siya. Okay, that's for the flow of the electrons of the voltaic cell or galvanic. Pareho rin na klasa, ang voltaic and galvanic, they're the same. Okay, next, how about the standard potentials? So in the standard reduction potential, this is the formula. Take note of the formula. E of the cell, potential of the cell is equal to the potential of the cathode. Ang cathode, gain of electrons. Katong nag-reduce og oxidation number. Pangitaon to nimo. Then minus the electron, okay, and energy potential of the anode. Again, energy potential of the cell is equal to the potential of the cathode minus the potential of the anode. So, if we're given this one, muna given nga equation. This is not the equation. I forgot the term. But if this one is given, then let's look at the charge. So, zinc is from 0 to positive 2. Okay, 0 to positive 2, nag-increase na siya. So, this is loss. So, this is the anode. Okay, anode na kay 0 or loss of electron. Kay from 0, nag-increase man, 0 to positive 2. Then, let's look at hydrogen. Hydrogen from 1 to 0, nag-decrease. So, this is gain. Okay, CRG. So, this is the cathode. Okay, so given ang cell potential is 0.76. Okay, 0.76. Then, ang cell potential sa H is always 0. Kani, constant na ang cell potential of H is 0. So, mo man ni ang atong cathode. Okay, mo man ning nag-gain of electrons from 1 to 0. Gain. So, that's 0. We're solving for the potential of the anode. Okay, minus the potential of zinc ion. So, simple naman eh. So, we have 0.76. Okay, 0.76. So, we're solving for, i-show lang ni Mama, okay, the cell potential of zinc. Akong transfer sa other side of the equation para positive ang atong unknown. Then we have the cell potential of H minus the E potential of the cell. Okay, nagbaylo lang. So 0 minus the potential of the cell is 0.76. So the answer is negative 0.76. Okay? Take note of the formula. E cell is equal to cathode minus anode. Nya, basi mangutan, ma'am, saan ginito pagkabalo sa cathode, ma'am? Look at the charges. Okay, look at the charges. Pag mo increase, then anode na siya. Okay, loss of electrons. Pag mo decrease, gain. Bali sa math. Pag mo decrease, gain. So cathode na siya. Okay, basi dili ihatag unsay cathode, unsay anode, ikaw ang mag-identify. Okay, so that is for the standard reduction potential. Look at the formula, and review. What's the difference between galvanic and so the similarities between galvanic, again, ang galvanic is from chemical reaction to electrical. Ang electrolytic bali, from electrical to chemical. Okay, electrolytic is from electrical to chemical. It's the opposite. So similarities, they are both electrochemical cells. Redox reaction takes place in both cells. Both cells contains anode and cathode. Kay batteries man ni sila tanan. So naagi na siya cathode ug anode para na flow of electrons. And oxidation takes place and at the anode and reduction takes place at the cathode. That's the similarity. Difference. Okay, so these are the difference between galvanic and electrolytic. So sa galvanic, the anode is negatively charged. Mo man na ato no, anode katong pare sa zinc. Pero opposite siya sa electrolytic. Ang iyang anode mo unay positive. The opposite. Ang cathode sa galvanic mo nang positive kay cathode, di ba? Letter T kay cathode, so positive. Munang dali ma-memorize ni ma'am. Cathode is positive. Opposite sa electrolytic, ang iyang cathode kay negative. Okay. Negative ang iyang cathode. Then, ang galvanic is spontaneous, ang electrolytic non-spontaneous. In other words, kailangan pa siya og electricity for the reaction to take place. Okay? Muna siya ang non-spontaneous. Does not require external voltage, pero ang electrolytic requires external voltage source. As I mentioned a while back, kailangan pa siyang electricity para mo work, para ma-produce ang chemical reaction. Kani dili na. Spontaneous. Murag, diretso na lang siya mag-produce og chemical equation, chemical reaction, then produce electricity, chemical reaction, then electricity. Kani kailangan og external voltage. So the difference between galvanic and electrolytic. Now, let's go to the graph. How do you use the band belt or the belt of stability or band of stability? So we have to recall nga kaning line, okay, the solid line, okay, the solid line is when the N and P ratio is equal to 1. Okay, the N and P ratio is equal to 1. So mo fall na siya diya sa line. Okay. So the graph of stable of elements is commonly referred to as the band or belt of stability. Okay, at the higher end or upper right of the band of stability, kaning band muna siya. Okay, this one. Band. At the upper right of the band of stability lies the radionuclides that decay via alpha particles. Okay, alpha decay. Below is the positron, okay, positron decay, and or electron capture. Above is the beta decay emissions. The stable nuclei will fall on the solid line. Okay, so pag above sa belt, okay, beta decay. Below sa belt, alpha decay. Below aning line, positron or electron capture. Okay, take note. how to use the belt of stability. Okay, belt of stability. O saan din na pagkuha di ay. Okay? So if you're given the number of protons and the number of neutrons, so pwede man na nimo dahil makuha ang iyang ratio. Or pwede man po na nimo gamiton. Like example, this is protons, this is neutrons. So example, ang proton kay 40. Okay. Then this one, so ganito sa Y. Y is labeled as the neutron. So ang neutron kay 20. Okay, 2020. So 2021 raman na siya. It should fall on the solid line. Pero kung example, 420 ang neutron, here. Ay, naman day ko. Kung 2020, it should fall on the solid line. Kay 1:1 man na. Pero kung 40 stable na, dili siya mag-decay, stable. So, 40 example, 20 ang neutrons, 40 ang 20 ang protons, 40 ang neutrons. So, atong emit. Okay. Oh. Naa siya diha sa above the belt. So, meaning, unsa nga type of decay? Beta. Kay naaman diha. Naaman siya above sa belt. Mo ng beta decay. Kaya basi you will be asked, what type of decay if the number of protons of the substance is this one and the number of neutrons is this one? Okay, so you have to know the ratio and you have to use the belt of stability. So that's how you use the belt of stability. Pag 1 gani, wala man na, stable man na class. So dili na siya mo decay. 1 man. Okay. Pero kung below ana, too small, then positron or electron capture. Kung above sa belt, beta. Kung below aning belt, muna siya ang alpha. Kanina ni, muna yung alpha decay here. Kani nga portion, muna siyang alpha decay. Okay? So that's for the belt of stability. Then we go to the types, the forms of spontaneous radioactive decay. So remember, there are 4 types. So we have the beta, yes, na ay nag-excuse. Yes. Ay naman ko recording ani. So dili lang ko din ha. Ako manggod tong gi-copy. So these are the different types of spontaneous radioactive decay. So ang alpha, if it's too much mass, that leads to a nucleus to emit an alpha particle. Okay, so ang alpha particle is the helium atom. Look at the symbol of helium, okay, 2,4. Ang beta, negative beta particle is when too many neutrons. I-compare nimo ang neutrons nila. Too many neutrons in the nucleus will lead to the negative beta decay. Too many protons, if there are too many protons, then positron or the positive beta decay. Then too much energy, gamma. Ang gamma kay wala may changes pag mag-balance ka. So energy lang ang i-emit pero ang neutrons, protons pareho lang. Okay, so these are the different. Okay, so if you will be asked what type of decay, so tan-awon din nimo ang balance equation like naaman din ni example here. Ayaw kay na siya kuan, na recording. I think na okay. So for example here. So kung given, sample ang given kani, muna given. Muna given ha. Then you will be asked what type of decay. So because there, kung i-blank ni siya, okay lang kung given. Okay, kung i-blank na, this is 42. If it's given, obvious na beta decay na siya kay negative man. Kung what if dili siya given? Like it's written like this. 1942, dayon blank, dayon calcium 4220. Diba? 4220. Then you will be asked, what type of decay is this? So recall the balancing nga you have to get this number 19. So from 20. So from 20, mag-subtract ka, there's only one decay, no? Nga mag-negative. So negative 1. So that's beta decay. So negative 1 plus 20 will result to 19. So that will give you a hint nga mahimo man siyang 19, so dapat negative 1 ni siya, so beta decay. So because some equations will have kanang mga fill in the blanks, like what is this? If the given equation will only give you the product of the decay. So this one, kay wala may changes, 9944. So this is gamma decay, obviously. Kay, ang gamma, magod, it's just energy. Okay, release of energy. For this one, 235, na nahimo siyang 231, so ang difference is 4. There's only one type of decay nga 4 ang iyang mass. That's alpha decay. So ang product is alpha decay. Okay? I hope that's clear. Tabi, you're given an equation katong pila ka alpha decays, di ba? Naaman to sa atong worksheets, katong how many alpha decays katong naay table, i-review to. Okay, wala na nako to na appeal. Katong akong drill nga naay bitay arrows, then you were asked how many alpha decays, then how many beta decay. So i-count ninyo. How do we know if it's alpha decay? Kay minus 4 ang iyang masses as you go along the reaction. Okay, as it proceeds, ang iyang mass is minus 4. So i-count lang to nimo, pila to ka minus 4 mo tong alpha decay. So if you will be asked how many alpha decay, so review that particular worksheet. Katong gipa-count mo how many alpha decays, na may answers ato, ako naman tong na-check. And how many beta decays. Okay, that's important. Katong worksheet. Okay, let's go to half-life. Naaman ko eh. Unsa man niya? Let's go to half-life. So this is class daghan kay problems on half-life. Daghan gid kaayo kani mga alpha decay. Half-life problem solving, dili sad gyud nga majority of the nuclear chem is calculation. Okay, most of the questions are kaning identifying what type of decay. Kana more on that. Naay mga problem solving sad. But comparing it to the other topics, daghan ang problem solving sa half-life and also sa crystal. But you're good in crystal decay, crystal structures. So this is okay. Ano man eh? Wait ha. Ako sang i-delete. Lapas na ta class. Pero humanon lang gid na ako class ha. Bro, wala naman siguro mo'y klase, no? Wala na exam? Mulapas ko gamay. Class.
Wala naman.
Wala na. O okay lang kung mulapas gamay. Basta wala naman siguro tao nga ni. Let's see. Kasi isa na lang kabuok. Bahala na. Basta kay naminaw ni mama, maka-answer pa siya. So, okay, let me go back to... Am I still sharing my PowerPoint?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, salamat na apadi ay mo. Current slide. So, half-life. Let's go to half-life. So, ang formula sa half-life is if you're asked to solve for the remaining amount, di ba kaning AF is the remaining amount, so you will use this formula. Kani. If you're asked to solve for the remaining amount. There are problems, class, where you don't need really a solution or the formula. Kanang you can do it manually. Like example, if there are 3 half-lives, okay, then the amount is 200. Okay, example kanang walay formula. Like example, na ay 200 grams nga substance, then this one underwent 3 half-lives. So kailangan pa ba nag-formula? Di na kailangan formula. Imo lang i-half 100. Ang first half-life mahimo, ang 200 mahimo siyang okay, ang 200 mahimong 100. So mo nang first nga half-life. Then ang second half-life ma-50 na. Then ang 50 ma-25. So 25 ang answer. So there are questions in which you don't really need the formula. Kay simple ra gid kayo, given ang amount, then given ang half-lives. So dali ra. for this problem, kani siya, you're asked to solve for the remaining amount. Pwede magyapon siguro ni siya one, if the iodine has a half-life of, if it has a half-life of 8, okay, how much of the 131, ay, dili siya kay 32 days man. How much of the 131 remains after 32 days? That's difficult. Di siya matinamban. So we have, recall that you have to memorize these formulas. Kana, K is equal to ln2 over half-life. And to solve for the remaining amount, AF is equal to, AF means the remaining amount. A0, sub-0 is the, it is the initial quantity, initial amount. So, to solve for the final amount, so we need the value of the letter K. Okay? So we can solve that by using this formula. ln2, constant naman na siya. Just press ln, then 2 in your cycle. It's 0.6931 divided by the given half-life, which is 8. So we have now the letter K. Then naamantay initial quantity, which is 200. So 200 grams times E raised to the power of negative KT. So isolve sa nato si negative KT. So si K times T, which is 32. Then after that, ato na da yung kwaon ang E. So E raised to the power of whatever is this one, then multiply it to 200. Okay? So AF is equal to 12.50 grams. Kani dili siya pwede atong ma-divide by 2, divide by 2. Kay given ang time nga 32 days, after 32 days. Okay, so this problem is on determining the amount, the remaining amount, given the half-life and also the time elapsed. So kanang formulas kana, importante na. So what if you're asked to solve for the time? Okay, ang time. So kung time ang unknown, so this is now the formula kung time ang unknown. Okay, we still have to solve for K. Recall lang yun ang K. You have to remember the formula for K or the constant. So ln2 divided by the half-life, which is given here. Asara ang half-life niya. 15 hours. Okay, 15. So that's letter K. Then to solve for time, so we will just get the ln of final amount, which is given 750. Oh no, 50 na lang. Kaya decay naman ang 750 from the 800. So 50 divided by 800, then you get the ln is equal to K times T, then divide. So the time is 60 hours. Okay. So ln of 50 divided by 800 divide by 0.04621. Okay, so 60 hours. So this problem is when we solve, these are the formulas when we solve the time elapsed. So kailangan na siya, time elapsed. Okay? So again, kana nga mga formulas, very important, kana, and again, naay problems nga, di na gid kailangan ng formula. Okay, how about if you're asked, kani, I missed this one, wala na ako na appeal, ang carbon dating. So this is the formula, pare-pareho ra sa half-life, okay? Ang carbon dating, this is the formula for carbon dating. Kanang, we want to know the age of the organic substance. So ang formula is ln of n sub O. Ang n is the final, here. Ang term is, okay, counts per minute. Okay, the decay. Okay, that's the letter N. The decay rate, here. The decay rate, final, ang N sub 0, muna siyang katong decay rate sa katong original nga substance. Okay, N sub O. Okay, ako i-read ang problem. The remnants of an ancient fire in a cave in Africa showed carbon-14 decay. At the rate, remnants naman So muna na siya ang final, remnants naman. Rate of 3.1, okay, 3.1 counts per minute per gram of carbon. Assuming that the decay rate of 14 in freshly cut, muna siyang original nga substance. Ang decay rate of the original substance, freshly cut wood, is 13.6 counts per minute. calculate the age of the remnant. So again, sa carbon dating, this is the formula. Pareho rin itong half-life, katong ln of A sub F over A sub O. Pareha sila. Ang concept pareha lang. So, but this time, we are going to substitute the counts per minute. Okay, ang decay sa carbon nga original o katuda yung final na substance. So we have ln of 3.1. Ang 3.1 is the carbon-14 decay rate. Dayon ang N sub 0 katong freshly cut wood. Okay, so wala pa siya na decay, muna siya ang iyang counts per minute. So 13.6. So 3.1 divided by 13.6, then get the ln, then we divide it by the, okay, that's the ln. So this is the ln. Then negative kT. Na may given nga k. Oh, here's the given k. Mo maning ln2, then the half-life of carbon is 5715. Mo na siya iyang half-life. Pareho ra ganina, nag-solve ta sa ln2 over the t half-life. So ln2 is given, kay ma-solve man na, 0.693, dahil ang half-life dahil sa carbon, na 5715. Okay, plug in, then times t. So we have, pag ma-solve na, the answer is 12,194 years. Okay, 12,000. Ako sang i-rewrite ha, ln of 3.1 over 13.6 divide by the negative 0.693 over 5175 is equal to the time. Kana, muna siya ang solution. Okay. Dali na, calcula na din siya, class. Then, ang answer is, ang time is 12,194 years. Okay, muna siyang age atong na-decay na nga part sa wood. Okay, 12,194 years. Okay, so that is carbon dating. Okay, appeal ni ma'am kay na-miss na ko ni siya. Wala ko nakahatag og sample sa carbon dating. Okay, nataan ang carbon dating. So, kailangan na nag-picture ani karon, nag-screenshot na ni. So, now we are in the last module. Hapit na tamahuman sa crystal structure. Maayo kay mo aning crystal structure, kay murag series naman kasagara ang questions ani. There are 3 types. We have simple cubic body, BCC, and FCC. Remember the number of atoms. Okay, number of atoms. Sa simple cubic 1, body cubic BCC 2, and FCC 4. Okay? Simple cubic 1, BCC 2, FCC 4. Then, remember the formulas to get the edge length. Edge length. A is equal for simple cubic, A is equal to 2R. Okay, pag edge length na, gina-given nga radius, kaya di siya ma-solve kung walay radius, di ba? Then for the BCC, ang edge length is 4R divided by the square root of 3. Then for FCC, edge length is equal to the square root of 8 times its radius. Importante ani nga slide are the formulas for the edge length for the different types of the cells. Okay, the cubics, the cubes. Okay, this one, sample problem in determining the density. Okay, nag-solve og density. So, I think na-solve na nako ni sa atong kwan. Ako lang ibalik. Kaya basig na ay wala naka-gets when I solve this one in our meeting, in our online, face-to-face, online ta ani, synchronous. So, when silver crystallizes, ibalik lang ni ma'am, it forms FCC. Importante kay na ang FCC nga given because you will be using the number of atoms. Mutong kailangan nimo i-recall nga asa pilay number of atoms sa FCC, BCC o simple cubic. Kaya you will be needing that in the calculations. Balik sa ako, na ako nalimtan. Okay, na remember ni ma'am. Among the 3 types of cubes, no? Simple cube, body-centered cube, and face-centered cube, which among has the highest density? Diba? Gisolve naman ni siya. Katong 56 na ay 71, 72 ba tong FCC? So, among the three, the one that has the highest density is the FCC. Okay. Naana to sa atong calculation. Remember lang ni ma'am. Okay, so given ang edge length na 409 picometer, please review how to convert the units. So, picometer. So, to get the volume, kay density man, we need the volume. So, edge length is raised to the power of 3, kay volume. So, we have to convert 409 to centimeter. Okay, 400 na ba din? Marag wala na, na-erase na. 409 picometer to centimeter. So, 409 picometer times in 1 meter, decicentimeter, 12. 1 times 10 to the power of negative 12 picometer para ma-cancel. Then, 1 centimeter is 1 times 10 to the power of negative 2 meter. Okay, so 409, i-divide lang ani. Negative 12, then negative 2. Then raised to the power of 3, kay i-cube man dapat. So, ang answer is 6.83 times 10 to the power of negative 23. We have now the volume. Then, we need to get the mass. So, to get the mass, from the given, walay laing given dan ha, only the FCC. So, that's the number of atoms. So, 4 atoms of silver, then we want to convert this to grams. So, kailangan na yung mga links. To get that to grams, kailangan i-convert ang atoms to the number of moles, then moles to the number of, okay. Ang atoms, to convert the atoms is we use the Avogadro's number. So 6.022 times 10 to the power of 23 para ma-cancel ang atoms. Then, that's for every mole. And to convert the number of moles, we need the atomic weight. So 107, na may periodic table, so 107.9. So multiply for 107.9, divide by Avogadro's. So this is now the mass of the silver atom. Then plug in na lang dayon, mass divided by the volume. So 10.5 times 10 to the power of 10.5 grams over cm cube. Okay. Which makes sense. Bugat man ang silver kay kuan man siya, metal man. So dapat ang iya pong density mas taas compared lugar sa uban nga mga substances. 10.5 grams per cm cube. Kung ang imong answer class naa panay sa density nga answer naa kay times 10 to the power of 22, wrong na daan. Kay wala may density sa unsa nakadako nga substance nga times 10 to the power of 22. Wala may isa ka building, di ba? So atom raman, silver atom raman. So dapat wala na yung mga times 10 to the power of na cancel na diha. Okay? That will give you a hint that you are on the right track. Kaya ang imong answer na ni whole number or dili siya, wala siya mga exponents. So grams over cm cube. So that's how we solve for the density. Now this one, morning Bragg's equation. So ang Bragg's equation, how do we determine gani the distances between the atoms? We use the technique is using the X-ray diffraction, di ba? Mo man na to determine the distance between the atoms. So we use X-ray diffraction. And in the X-ray diffraction, ang equation that we'll solve is the Bragg's equation. So this is Bragg's equation. And nalimta na sa ni ma'am unsay n. Unsa gyud tong n? Kalimot ko. Nakalimot na sa ko unsay n.
Order, ma'am.
Unsa to n gani? It is the degree of, I forgot.
Order of diffraction.
Order of diffraction. Okay na, thank you. Order of diffraction. So, ang order of diffraction is 1. So, pag density lang, dali ra kayo isolve. Pero remember, naghatag o equation. Example, kung theta na ang isolve. Importante na, what if theta ang ipasolve sa inyo? So, what's the formula? So, kani, easy raman ni siya. Again, na-conversion, nano to pico. So, you have to review kung saan pag-convert sa nano to pico. So, this is the lambda or the wavelength. So, just plug in the data. Ang order of diffraction is 1 man as given. So, times na dayon into picometer. Kaya ang specify man, dapat ang distance is in picometer. then 2, then sine theta, which is 14.7. So divide, answer is 314.0 picometer. Now, what is the formula again if it's the angle that is unknown? So ang formula, i-write na lang ni ma'am ang formula. Then, kamo na, naamang ko yung sample ato, basig na yung nag-copy. Lambda. So this one is sine theta is equal to n lambda divided by 2 and 2d. Okay. Kaya na may 2 na, wala na. So theta is equal to n 2d. Okay, so this is the formula for determining the angle. Importante ne. Okay, determining the angle. Theta is equal to sine -1 n times lambda divided by 2d. Di na ako maghatag sample, ana. Okay, naani sa akong previous nga discussion. Okay, that's it. That's the end of our review and I hope ma-remember o I hope makakuha og high score sa midterm. Okay, for those who are late, again, before we end, for those who are late, there are 60 questions, multiple choice. Most of the questions are coming from nuclear and crystal. Okay, focus ka sa nuclear and crystal modules. Nya daghan kaayo more on the crystals. Okay. So sa 60 siguro mga 20, mga 10 ang iyang questions dadto, 15. Pero ang crystals magud kay less calculations, more on the concepts. So dapat katong gipang review ni ma'am, o pilay atoms, pilay efficiency in the packing, unsay density mas ang asa ang mas highest density, unsay what is the number of atoms for BCC, FCC, how do you get the edge length, how do you get the radius, and solving for density, solving for theta, those are important. Dayon, katong sa nuclear chem. Nag-appeal ko carbon dating, importante na, kaya wala ko nakatag, wala ko katag example sa carbon dating. Pero pareha naman sa half-life na formula. Okay, so I hope maka-answer sa midterm on Saturday. Good luck, grade 9. Good luck, Chem 86, AA1. Class, good luck, class ha. Maka-answer unta mo sa exam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, then.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye. Don't forget your calculator. Calculator, importante.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, bye everybody.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
And
Thank
I
you,
will
ma'am.
update you of your grades. So, naapa man yung mga adjustments si Ma'am Dayan. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, welcome.